Is this the car from the future? Because it has got some really cool tech. Like you can change the animations of these DRLs and there are 8 options. You can also clean the headlights because it has got headlight washers. And the lights at the rear, they are even cooler because the tail lights have 360 OLED segments, which means that when you turn on the hazard lights, it shows you the warning triangle right there. Isn't that crazy? The length is more than 4.7 meters and the wheelbase is almost 2.9 meters. This is the Q6 e-tron, which is the electric equivalent of the Q5, and Audi's actually gone ahead and made a better electric car than Mercedes-Benz and even BMW. Yes, this is quite a stunning looking car. This particular car has the S-Line package and it does look wow. It runs on 21-inch wheels and these wheels look super cool too. You get a usable 64-liter frunk and the boot is big at 526 liters. And of course, I can drop the rear by pressing a button here because this car has got air suspension. Makes it slightly easier to load in stuff, and obviously it has got a powered tailgate as well. बंद हुआ? नहीं हुआ? हो गया? हाँ. रेस हो रही वापस. क्या बात है? The rear parking camera also gets a spray so that you can clean the camera on the go. 255 45 21 is the size of the front tires. The rear ones are massive 285 40 21s. Okay, we have got an all new platform, which means they've taken the charging port from the front and put it at the rear. But this is not my charging port of choice because this one only supports AC charging up to 22 kilowatt, I believe. And it is so slow to shut and open. It's crazy. And on this side, it does DC charging as well, supporting speeds of up to 270 kilowatt. You know what that means? It can charge from 10 to 80% in just 21 minutes. That's fast. Being a co-passenger in this car isn't all that bad because you get your own personal screen right here. Now this one is actually a 10.9-inch screen, which is extremely high resolution. It's fantastic. And the best thing is, it has some feature, I don't know what magic it has, that the driver cannot see the screen, so you can watch a movie while the car is being driven. Isn't that awesome? And the earth is round actually. Even the glove box is nicely lined, super quality here. The seats are super nice and comfortable, obviously electrically adjustable, but there's no seat ventilation in this particular car. But this car does not even get a sunroof, which is quite shocking. However, in India, we are going to get a panoramic sunroof because sunroof is the most important feature in India. How else will parents throw their children from up the roof?
Okay, that was dark.
That was not the right word, but don't hang out from the roof. Huh? Bye. Under-thigh support is not an issue because you can extend the seat base here. However, it's manual, not electric. All the headlight controls are now on the driver door. This is a very touch-sensitive panel, which is not the best to use. I want physical buttons, please. The steering too now has touch buttons, which are not the best to use. I want physical buttons here as well. You get steering heating, which is of no use in India because already we are boiling there. Gets a flat bottom treatment here. S is a misnomer because this is the S-Line package. This is not the SQ6. Audi continues to offer you a secret storage space here so that you can use that to hide your drugs from your wife as well as the cops. I'm talking about regular medicines as drugs, not about cocaine or weed. The instrument cluster gets an 11.9-inch screen. And the infotainment system is a 14.5-inch screen, and together they form a beautiful curved screen, one of the best I have seen. Amazing high quality screens here. But what will truly blow your mind is the heads-up display. It's an AR unit, augmented reality. It can go up to 80 inches in size and project up to 200 meters. It's just mind-blowing. This screen is super slick to operate. It has a lot of functions, like the whole climate control menu has been embedded right here. You get an amazing 360-degree parking camera, and obviously you can change the camera views, front, rear, dead front, dead rear and all that. So yeah, it's a nice view right here. However, there's a small problem. It does not give you the 3D view. And the car is black. My car is white. Why are you being racist? By the way, I've noticed this car has got seat heating, which is obviously not of any use to us Indians. Yeah, front seats can be heated. Actually, the rear ones can be heated as well. Oh, you can see so many things in this car. This is like an information overload. This car has a fantastic 20-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system, which sounds just awesome. There's of course storage space below the front center armrest, but this actually extends all the way ahead because the first aid kit is actually hidden somewhere below. That's a neat feature. I don't know why these car makers still offer you ashtrays. Anyways, this car has got 4 USB charging sockets with support up to 100 watt. I don't know if it's combined or independently 25 watt each. It also gets wireless fast charger, 15 watt or something of that sort. Rear seat space is actually quite good. You get a center armrest with twin cup holders. Center passenger also gets a head. Under thigh support is not the best. You get a 3-zone climate control air conditioning system, and the rear seats also get the heating function, which obviously is of no use to us Indians. And unfortunately, you do not get rear sun blinds, and because this does not get a sunroof, it feels a little glum here with this all black cabin. You do get magazine holders, a bit scooped out here. This is completely flat, so middle passenger will be happy as well. This car's got ambient lighting, and there are just 6 colors here. However, the big thing is that these lights actually interact with you. The one on the dashboard obviously runs the whole width, and when you give an indicator, it actually shows you that. And obviously in terms of ADAS, it also gives you red colored warnings. By the way, this key feels a bit too plasticky, and this particular car does not get a spare wheel. Hopefully we get a spare tire in India. But don't you worry, the Audi Q6 e-tron that you will get in India will get dual tone black and beige interiors, and obviously beige seats as well, which will give the cabin a very airy feeling. And I hope they also give the wooden insert on the dashboard, because that looks quite premium as well. And as far as sunblinds go, that will also be offered in India, because that seems to be an option here. Clearly, this is a gadget on wheels, but how is it to drive? Let me take you for a spin. Alright, let's start driving, and as soon as I turn on the vehicle, it shows me the Audi logo here, which is quite beautiful. It shows me the ambient lighting there, which is also quite nice. The ambient lighting is so good now. When I get into drive, it shows this green bar going from right to left. We're going to turn off the hazard lights. I'm already into drive mode. We are actually going to change a few settings here, but one thing I've realized that this car actually has seat ventilation. Okay, there's an off button here. So seat ventilation is there in this particular car, which we will hopefully get in India as well. Now, I wanted to go to the drive modes. Thankfully, there are physical buttons for that. We get into dynamic mode. There are 5 drive modes here: balance, dynamic, comfort, efficiency, and off-road. And off we go. And I realized one thing: the car is super duper silent. Obviously, it's an electric car now, so it has to be silent. I'm just going to put the mirror down a bit from there. Yeah. And I'm going to be following that Q6 e-tron, which obviously has a lot more power. So that car has 517 horsepower, which is very crazy. And it is actually showing me the ADAS menu here, because it has got level 2 ADAS, of course, and we're just going to be using the wipers right away. Okay, there is good amount of spray right there, and onto the throttle. And there is immediate reaction with a lot of punch as well. So I'm just going to change this menu. Navigation is turned on, which is looking absolutely beautiful in that AR display. Just amazing heads up display. Look at the kind of animation here. Next level, huh? Audi has gone next level. Now obviously this car's got air suspension, because of which I can alter the ride height, and in off-road mode obviously the ride height increases as well. So I was telling you 517 horsepower there, 0 to 100 km per hour in 4.3 seconds, and a top speed of 230 km per hour, and a claim range of 598 km for the Q6 e-tron. This one has lesser power, because of which it obviously is slower. This has 387 horsepower, and it goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 5.9 seconds, top speed 210 km per hour here, a claim range of 625 km. But I'll be honest, in the real world, expect a range of around 450-460 km, which is also quite impressive if you ask me, because this car is quite heavy. 2,350 kgs, yeah, 2.4 tons almost. It's a heavy car. It has to be, because of the battery pack, which is a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, and that battery pack actually is giving you a net output of 94.9 kilowatt hour. So yes, there's less loss in that sense. Now in terms of the steering, it feels quite light in regular comfort mode, but it weighs up decently well when you get into dynamic mode, but still it feels a little on the lighter side. So isn't that impressive in that regard. It could have been slightly more weighed up, but then this is an electric car which is focused more towards comfort driving. I'm sure they will also come with the RS Q6, which will basically be equivalent to the Macan Turbo. It shares the platform and a lot of other things with the Macan Turbo. This is the PPE, Premium Platform Electric. This has, I think, around 180 cells. So there are 12 modules with 15 cells in each module. So this is the big difference here, that there are lesser cells, but there are more denser cells in this new platform. Born electric, obviously. And in terms of driving feel, you can feel a bit of the weight around the corners, but the car is super duper smooth. You've got regen modes. It does regen very aggressively. Using the paddle shifters, you can change the regen modes as well. And as soon as you get on the throttle, the response is immediate. Yeah, obviously electric car, it pushes out all that torque out immediately. In fact, even though that car has a lot more power, somehow both the cars are having the same torque output of 855 Newton meters, which is also quite a lot, huh? Because all of that comes in instantly, like in a flash. You get all that torque and immediately the car pushes ahead with a lot of enthusiasm. And I love the interactive light bar there. You can see it saying danger ahead. That's quite amazing, yeah, how the ADAS system works in this car. And every time I give an indicator, I am just looking at the way the ambient lighting works. So I think Audi has done a fantastic job with the ambient lighting, with the lights of course. So a lot of good bits here which you will definitely appreciate. So let's actually come into the fast lane, get into the throttle. Yeah, the response is super immediate and the ride is also actually very smooth. So we are just going to come into the right lane, because obviously we will get smaller tires in India. This is running on 21-inch wheels, which will affect the ride quality a bit. However, the India model will get smaller rims. I think it starts with 18 inches, then 19 inches, and then optional bits will get you to 20 and 21s. 21s have like really low profile tires. They're telling me someone is in my blind spot as well, which is very cool as well. So in terms of the tech and all, this car definitely blows your mind. Smoothness is there, speed is there, range is there, and there's someone in my blind spot. As soon as I give an indicator, I thought it will tell me, yeah, it usually does it, that there's someone in a blind spot, don't try and take a turn right now. It does that. I wish the steering had a lot more weight somehow. There's something known as a balance mode. Efficiency is obviously to boost the range of the vehicle, and it has a CD value of 0.28, which is very impressive for a high riding vehicle, because obviously it has got good amount of ground clearance. You can raise the ground clearance with the air suspension. The air suspension makes a huge difference here. Ride is just amazing. Even on these big wheels now, the ride is amazing, simply because the roads are super smooth here right now in Spain. But in India now, I'm hearing this, okay, and I hope it is a rumor, we are going to get the single motor vehicle. No, what am I saying? The single motor option, which is basically rear wheel driven only. So this has NMC chemistry, that one will have NMA chemistry. So slight difference in the battery architecture. This comes from Cattle, which is basically a Chinese company. That might come from Samsung. And with 83 kilowatt hour battery pack, maybe the range would be slightly lesser, but then the weight will be lesser, because that car will weigh, the rear wheel drive version will weigh 150 kgs lesser when compared to this one, because it doesn't have a front electric motor. Electric motor will obviously weigh something now. So that is what I think Audi is pushing for an aggressive price point in India. And I expect the price to be approximately 80-85 lakh rupees. And then when you factor in that registration cost is negligible, so the pricing would be then really very attractive and aggressive as well. Let's get into the fast lane. Another Audi in front, that is the A3 TDI. Audi is coming or going into a complete new era of electric mobility, saying bye-bye to diesel, saying bye-bye to even petrol. Although I think the next electric car from Audi will be the A6 e-tron, and Audi is not yet set its foot into sedans, electric sedans, although BMW is doing it rampantly, because they have multiple electric sedans like the i4, the i5, the i7, and Mercedes also has the EQE sedan, the EQS sedan. So Audi is late to the party when it comes to sedans, but I think the focus is largely right now on electric SUVs. Now, in terms of charging times, this car will charge from 10 to 80% in just 21 minutes using a hard to find 270 kilowatt DC ultra fast charger. Yeah, that's not going to be available in India easily, but the point is that it has the capacity, because it's running on an 800 volt architecture, and standard comes with an 11 kilowatt AC charger, but I think they will start offering a 22 kilowatt AC charger later. However, I'm a bit skeptical about fast charging in India, because we still do not have the speeds. Obviously you can precondition the battery and all those things can be done, and the navigation system is super duper awesome here. So I think I should get into the navigation things, because look at it, it's super duper awesome. It tells you where a charger is. This is obviously Android based, and it's fantastic. Overall quality and all is also nice. Now if you notice one thing, this car has got beige interiors, dual tone interiors, beige colored. There's some wood treatment there, and that is what we are going to be getting in India as well, because obviously in India we like light colors, and only thing I'm missing right now is a sunroof. But that said, it's a smooth car. Now I've driven the Macan Turbo, and it drives very similar to the Macan Turbo, and that's one big problem of electric cars, that they kind of feel vanilla. Whether you drive a Macan, or you drive a Q6 e-tron, or you drive a Tesla or any other car, almost everything feels very similar to drive, because at the end of the day, don't forget one thing, that the electric motor is sort of a commodity, and that is where the problem lies for electric cars. It removes the personality and the characteristic of a car, because almost every car drives the same. Yeah, you get onto the throttle, there's instant torque rush, done. That's it. That's how electric cars work. And then I've also noticed that electric cars consume double the energy at higher speeds when compared to internal combustion engine cars. So that's another small issue. So for high speed driving, electric cars are not the right option, but for city driving, they're fantastic. They're silent, they don't emit anything. I'm not going to get into the emitting part of making batteries and electric motors and all those things, because a lot of crucial resources are spent there. That said, I actually think that Audi's leapfrogged both Mercedes as well as BMW when it comes to making an electric vehicle, because this one is hugely impressive. I definitely find it much better than any Mercedes electric car or any BMW electric car as well, because it's smooth, it's filled with tech, it's refined, which obviously even both the other German car brands offer the refinement. But I'm talking about the refinement in terms of how this car's ride quality is, how the comfort levels are, how the interior is, how the tech is. The tech will blow your mind. In fact, nothing seems to be common from older Audi cars other than the fact that the fonts are very much similar here, and the ADAS system also works super duper awesome here. Fantastic car, yeah, really nice, smooth and refined. So Audi has definitely done a fantastic job. They are late to the party. They've taken their own sweet time, but trust me on this, they have made a car which impresses and feels way better than any other electric car in this price range. The problem is that at this price range now, there are not going to be many electric cars available in the segment, because you don't have the iX3 in India. Mercedes is definitely planning to get the EQA. However, the real competition for this car will be from up as well as below. So below, I think there will be the Volvos, the XC40 Recharge and all those things, which will obviously be competing with this car. But besides this, on the higher end, again, there are a lot of options available from a lot of car brands in India. So that will end up being the competition. I'm just going to step onto the gas, and oh my goodness, it actually feels like it's going to push you back into the seat, and then power tapers off very quickly. A typical characteristic of an electric car. Alright. Yeah, you don't feel the thrust or something of that sort because there's no sound here, and that's one of the issues with electric cars, that the sound is missing. Although I think Audi has configured some sounds, so you can change those sounds if you want, and I think that's known as, I don't remember the name now, but yeah, there is the option of adding some artificial sound inside. But there's a little bit of a whine from the motor, and if you're having pin drop silence in the cabin, and if you alter the air suspension, you can hear a bit of sound from the air suspension as well. That's the only sound you're going to be hearing in this car. Okay, let's go. Acceleration is really crazy here, but that soul is missing here somehow, and I'm just going to turn on adaptive cruise control. And when I do that, the car is automatically going to turn, so you don't have to hold the steering at all. It actually works quite well, but the thing is, it's a bit too sensitive at times, so the steering will fight with you when you're trying to change a lane because of the way the ADAS works in this car. But look at it go. Very nice, very sweet now. Okay, I don't need to do anything. There's a little sharpish curve ahead. Now obviously it will start to warn you beyond a point, telling you that, you know, you can't continue doing this, you need to take control. There, that warning has already come, and in case you don't take control, then automatically the car will start braking to tell you that wake up, stop sleeping. Now it also has got voice controls. So, hey Audi,
yes, what can I do for you?
Change ambient light color to red.
Okay, I'll set the interior lighting to red.
So that's also something which is very cool in this car. To sum it up, I will say that if you're looking to buy a Porsche Macan Turbo, the electric one obviously, and you want to spend lesser money on it, then the Audi Q6 e-tron actually offers you a lot of bang for the buck for almost half the price. Now obviously the Porsche is more dynamic, and obviously the Porsche brand has a lot more swag than Audi, and there are other factors which go for Porsche. However, with Audi, you know, you have more service centers, the car is cheaper to upkeep comparatively to the Porsche obviously, and it offers you similar levels of thrills and similar performance as well, because obviously the electric motor, the platform, the batteries and a lot of other aspects have been shared here. And the steering is so light, it's unbelievable. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I have absolutely no clue where we are going, but then the road less taken is always the better one. Bye bye.